Hey there, OG here. Welcome back. OG Blade Reviews. Yeah, Kizer. I've been waiting to get a Kizer on the table again. And I went so far as to purchase this myself from White Mountain. One of the few places that I have seen with these new knives actually got a fixed blade, which will be review dropping soon, and this folder, which is about a couple weeks old. I dare say a month old that they dropped it, probably less than that because I'm really not seeing them as of this date in July showing up too many places. And it's a design by Maciej Torbé. I believe that is how he pronounces his name. He's a Polish knife designer. He's designed for Zavivi and other companies. And in fact, he's designed some outrageous fixed blades, and I'm going to show you one a little later. But let's pop this guy out of the box. It's a relatively new Kizer sort of a box that they aren't doing their double open door flaps like they had for many years. Got the slip cover there. Got the Kizer box here. And lo and behold, this is what we're going to be talking about today. Inside, we got a Kizer wipey cloth there, microfiber thing, and some Kizer literature. And we're not going to get too into that, but that's pretty straightforward and simple. But let's zoom in a bit and see what we got. It is a back flipping knife, and it has an interesting fade pattern on the frag here. I think we could call that kind of a frag pattern, but you see how it kind of fades out. I've seen that on some anno work on titanium knives, but I think this is the first time I've seen it on a micarta. So they got micarta, they got Ultim, and they may have one more. Before we open it up, just some interesting features. Almost completely flush is that blade, look at that, with the handle. You can see the holes there for switching the clip over, which is a great thing for lefties. And also what we see is that the flipper tab is even with the spine section of the handle of the knife, if I could call it that. Some people may fault me for using incorrect terminology. Their official knife dictionary, it doesn't jive with it. I do my best to try to be consistent so you know what I'm talking about. Body screws, 1, 2. Pivot screws, 1. 2 more body screws on the other side, as we would expect. Some barrel spacers. And it is a hidden aligner, and there is a nested steel frame underneath. Without further ado, look at that. And they're referring to it as a reverse Tanto. Of course, a reverse Tanto. It does remind me in some respects of some of the Dirk Pinkerton designs where his Warncliffey sort of knives angle up. We couldn't nearly call this a Warncliffe, so I guess we're okay calling it a reverse Tanto, simply because we have nowhere near a straight edge here that's parallel with the handle. It goes way up. So it's interesting design. We've got a point that's right on line with the handle for your stabby stuff. Nice little clip there, which gives us, of course, that reverse Tanto-esque look. We have kind of a stone-washed, bead-blasted finish with an interesting setup with a fuller and kind of a secondary fuller there. Look at that weird stuff going on. Maciej Torbé, yeah, he is an interesting designer, and it's compelling stuff too. It isn't just, you know, whacked out space age stuff that maybe you don't like or you can't appreciate. And this can certainly be a working knife. It is in a Nitro-V. It is called the Skinner. I've been getting well into these videos lately without mentioning the name of the knife, but then again, it was in the in all the stuff you read before you opened up this video. Look at that hump. So long row of jimping, about 2 inches, and a crowned spine on the blade. All of this for about 65 bucks MSRP. That is not bad. On bearings, it's so light that really you're not going to get any drop action. What was I saying? We've got an echo here on the handle of what's happening with the blade. I mean, he's really gotten into his design stuff here. I don't know of too many others that have done exactly this style knife. Although, in case you're already thinking it, there is another knife where that blade looks very similar, and we're going to show it to you before we're done. And, you know, before you say copy, copycat, just realize that, you know, I don't know. Designers are influenced by other designers. So I'll just say that before we get into it. There is your skeletonization. Even the skeletonization has kind of its own pattern to it. They're all irregular kind of little holes. And the reason they did that is you can see that on the translucent Ultim handled version. So when you're looking at the Ultim handled version, that becomes a design component, the weight relieving on the frame. It is a very thin liner. Some may not like that, but honestly, guys, how much pressure are you going to exert on the back of this knife? And it would have to be continuous pressure in order to fold or somehow defeat that liner, skinny as it may be. It's an obstruction. It's meant to be an obstruction. All right. The tang of the blade is flat going into it. I don't think it's a problem. I'm saying it's a problem. Maybe you're not saying it's a problem. I'm saying it's a problem others may perceive. We do have a usable choil. It's a little tight, but they did kick the heel of that edge forward so that you're not going to cut your finger. So yeah, I mean, it's usable in kind of a choke up grip. And the jimping, definitely usable. Very thin blade. Let's set the ruler up here. I used to bring the tape measure out, but we're bringing the ruler out these days. So even with the point and then right to the end, we've got 8 inches. I think they may say it's a touch more, but it's 8 inches. The blade is about a 3.3. I think officially it is a 3.3 right to there. The cutting edge is about 3 1/4, so slightly less. Actually is a larger knife than the blade might suggest, blade length might suggest. I mean, I've got 3/4 of an inch left over there. Also extremely light. We're going to get into that. All right, in inches, the handle thickness, 0.55. Blade in inches, 10.09. 0.09. Wow, 0.09. In millimeters, 2.2 millimeters. Handle, 13.7 millimeters. Weight, just weight. How do we say that? Just you wait. What's it said on ounces? You ready? 3.10 ounces. Grams. 88 grams. All right, light enough for you? So we got an ounce per inch, don't we? We've got a blade of 3.3. We've got roughly 3 ounces. Nice. It definitely feels light. Definitely featherweight. Where's the balance, in case we're interested? Back there. That's how light the handle is. I like it. I do like it. And she'd be sharp. We're going to test out the sharpness in a few. I just don't happen to have any paper nearby here. Well, let's get some paper. Okay, paper time. I think she's going to be slicey. With a name like Skinner. Oh, yeah, man. Oh. Am I even... See, I got to watch my fingers. Eye to knife, and I've got to also make sure that it's in the frame for you guys. Yeah, I mean, sharp. I hung up a couple of times there, but I don't think there's any... I mean, definitely bites. Definitely bites. Yeah. You could drop it if you wanted to, but I don't think you could do a whole lot better than that. I'm now going to bring out an interesting knife. And, well, maybe it isn't. You know, I mean, they're similar, very similar. This is the Vision FG by Civivi, designed by Snex. It's a super lock. I'm sure you know about it if you're into knives. I've carried this quite a bit as a daily carry. I like the colorways, the color combination. But exactly how similar is the blade? You know, your eyeball is going to say, yeah, even got the choil roughly in the same place. You got a steeper angle here that's straighter. You got a little bit of a hint of a belly on the Vision FG. And you've got a flat clip on top here, and you got a somewhat rounded one here. Now, again, look at all the designs out there. Please look at all the knife designs out there. And is it possible that Maciej was somehow influenced by Snex? It's possible. But the thing about Snex, too, is that it's open source sort of design for his lock. So wouldn't he also basically say that's an open source for his blade design? I don't know. Could be, right? So then anybody can borrow it, anybody can use it. Anybody can use the super lock. Maybe anybody can use the blade design. I don't know. You let me know, except that we've got way different handles, I think. Way different handles. And of course, way different locking mechanism. Liner lock versus super lock. But yeah, you can look at them some more. Okay? So you decide. I mean, the next question would be, is it bad to copy somebody else? How about all the Tantos out there that have copied Cold Steel's Americanized Tanto with a chisel point? Tantos weren't like that up until the early 80s when Lynn Thompson came out with that. They were way different looking knives to the Japanese. They had a whole different design for the Tanto. He basically pasted some ideas together from swords and so forth and came up with the Cold Steel Tanto. So has everybody copied him? Maybe, huh? You think? Okay. So Maciej Torbé. How about this? I haven't had this out in a while. The Maxwell. Who'd he copy on that? Oh my God, look at that wild fixed blade. This is by Civivi, obviously, if you can't read that. And Torbé knives. That's what Maciej goes by, Torbé knives. And it is just a complex but really compelling. You know, it could even be a chopper for a small knife. This thing is like overall 10 inches with a blade of 4.5 inches up to there. Way interesting fixed blade. Check it out. And I've got a review on this from a couple of years ago at least. And I liked it so much, I've got two laying around somewhere. I think this is the one I haven't used much or carried. I forget what the other one is. And the other one might be an Ultim. No, I think this was pre-Ultim days, you know. Is that really a thing? Pre-Ultim? Well, penultimate. Okay. The Griptilian, for just a size compare, axis lock, same size. So if you think that's a small knife and you like Griptilians, it's the same overall length. as Griptilian. Maybe the Griptilian's a little longer in the handle. Okay. And we're at one time. Is it like Miller time? We're at one time? I don't know. I think I had too much coffee this morning, and you probably would agree. About an inch, a little over an inch longer, with a blade about half an inch, something like that. That is the Rat 1 from Ontario. I haven't checked up on Ontario lately to see what's going on. Well, let me know what you think of the Skinner. Definitely a tactical-oriented sort of knife. I do like it. Very piercy and slicey, and a neat handle. And again, I'll give you the link to White Mountain as well as to Kizer, so you can see some of the other models of this particular folder. There's my logo right about now. Click on that if you haven't subscribed. I say that all the time, but can always use more subscribers. So come on down and you'll be notified anytime that I come up with a new vid. Be well, take care, stay safe.